Welcome, gentlemen. Entrepreneurship is a team sport. The power of community, especially a values-driven, mission-driven community, can drive enormous innovation. That is precisely what we are all doing here in this fantastic gathering, and it's exactly what the Endeavor community has built. So I'm thrilled to welcome some of Endeavor's most shining stars today with me on the panel. Gentlemen, please take a minute to introduce yourselves and what you do.
Thank you, Natalia, for having us on the panel. I'm Paweł Hytry. I'm the CEO and co-founder of Spacelift. I'm a serial entrepreneur, so I built companies before, built larger entities that got acquired in the past. I'm the first Endeavor entrepreneur from Poland. Now, very quickly about the company that I'm building, Spacelift. It's an infrastructure management platform. So what we do is we help IT teams at large enterprises globally, mainly in the United States. We allow them to manage their infrastructure easier. What it means, we help them manage their servers and all that complicated stuff that allows you to view all the websites. So we raised altogether $35 million in funding, are growing very fast. US, our core market. So that's briefly about me. Thank you.
Marwan?
Thank you, Natalia. Thank you, Impact and Endeavor, for the invitation. I'm Marwan Inawi. I'm the co-founder and CEO of Dsquares, coming from Egypt. Dsquares is starting in 2012. It was a small company in Egypt. Currently, we are the leading loyalty provider in Middle East and Africa, and we started operations in Europe 2 years ago. Happy to be here today and share some insights about the business.
Thank you, Natalie. My name is Marcin Rudawski. I'm a 6 times world champion, 8 times European champion in sailing. I'm also a mentor, a performance coach for athletes, managers, and leaders. I work with them on their efficiency, productivity, and leadership skills. I work also for Experiental Learning Hub, an organization focused on developing leaders. And I also am a founder of Akademia Mistrzów Świata, an internet platform that helps athletes, coaches, and parents of athletes to develop skills around the discipline they are competing in, starting from sports psychology, nutrition, recovery, and sponsorship partnerships.
Thank you. Alejandro?
Hi, Natalia. Thank you, Impact. Thank you, Endeavor. I am Alejandro Gutierrez. I am the founder and the current CEO of Ladorian. I'm an economist. I am specialized in data modeling process. I'm leading Ladorian as one of the biggest company in the world of the EI, applying to the last mile communication in the physical stores. We have already connected more than 20,000 stores around the world. I'm happy to be here sharing the table with all these fantastic entrepreneurs. Thank you.
Thank you. So obviously the theme of this panel is scaling, but I want to talk about scaling at this moment. In the past, the entire tech industry basically was built around fail fast, go, 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 grow, grow, grow. That has abruptly changed in the last year. Now it's all about profitability, scaling smartly. I want to ask each of you about your scaling story, but also about how you balance caution and growth. Maybe we'll start with Alejandro to shake it up a little bit.
Well, the history of scaling of Ladorian is easy. Man, we started in 2018. It was a nice moment to growth because everybody was focusing on how to improve the transaction operation of the on and offline world. But then the COVID happens, then everything was locked down, and then the retailers we have a B2B company focused in the retailer world. then become lockdown, then we suffer a lot. But then we optimize timing, focusing on the product, focusing on the learning about the market needs. And since the COVID to now, we have multiplied by 5 our revenues. Then, yeah, it's not a matter of only of sources, it's a matter of faith, and it's a matter of hard work. Then I think it's a mixture of talent, teamwork, and yeah, and repeat that you can do something for the world where you are working with.
Marwan?
When we started the company in 2012, we made sure to build the company and the technology and the team in a way to be a global player so we can scale fast. So we managed to scale the company from one office. Currently we have 7 offices in Middle East, Africa, and Europe, serving more than 16 countries. In order to do that, it's mainly about the team. So if you have the right foundation when it comes to the team, if you have the right operation to scale up, that's it. So we made sure that we centralize our operations in the headquarters. So whenever we scale in any other country and open another office, we just hire a small team, a local team, to run the operations. But like 85% of the work is done from the headquarters. Because if you scale fast, it's important to scale fast. But if you scale fast and you're not ready, you can really ruin your business. So it's about having the right team, right operation, so you can scale without impacting the quality of your service.
Paweł?
Yeah. From so my perspective is we did raise quite a substantial round back in the beginning of 21, and there was a lot of pressure to, let's say, overspend and grow and scale faster. I think what's important for all the entrepreneurs, I mean, like I'm sure this applies to all of us, is you kind of need to know on your own what to do, not be pushed by, the market is, everyone is growing fast. You need to be spending more, overspending, burning, right? Now the market is down. You need to be cutting, laying off, and so on, right? Like as an entrepreneur, like you need to be the one in the driver's seat, right? You need to decide like this is the right pace. Obviously, we're all building big enterprises. We're trying to scale super fast. So it's not about optimizing, it's about maximizing and growing as fast as possible. But it's all up to the entrepreneur to understand, okay, this is the level of me of maximizing and growing fast and scaling fast, but not overspending and then waking up one day needing to lay off 20% of people. So it's really about the entrepreneur and how they approach it, right?
We didn't discuss this question, but I'm going to ask it anyway. Do any of you think you've made mistakes in scaling? No one has made a mistake ever?
Too many?
Okay.
It's easier to answer how many, positive things we did.
Yeah.
It's going to be shorter.
You mean this week or?
Good answer, guys. Good answer. Marcin, I want to turn to you. One of my favorite quotes is by Serena Williams, who said, "I really think a champion is not defined by their wins, but how they recover when they fall." Can you tell us a story of your greatest fall and how you managed to stand up again?
Sure, Natalia, this is one of my favorite quotes as well, really.
We're mind
You nailed
melding
it.
here. Good.
And it is so true in sports world. I mean, there is so much losing, much more than winning, and we sometimes tend to forget about that. And what is, however, the biggest setback, the biggest fall for every athlete is to face an injury, especially when you're on the top of your game. And this is actually what happened exactly to me in 2009. I just won the biggest Europa Cup event of the season, and just after the regatta, I was struck with a severe back injury. I had to cancel all the starts I was planning to take part in, except for last season event, World Championships in Japan. I thought that maybe if I put a lot of effort in recovery, I might be able to compete at the very end of the season. So I doubled down on my physical preparation. This was actually the only thing I could do because, all my competitors were spending massive hours on the water, and I was not able to travel. I was not able to get to any sailing venue at that time. So I focused entirely on something that is not that important in sailing. It is changing now, but at that time it wasn't. And I went to Japan as probably the best physically prepared sailor, but with least hours spent on the water. But I was really enthusiastic and grateful that I can do what I truly love, compete on the highest sailing level. And I was lucky that the event was extremely hard, difficult, and physically demanding. And I won that event, and it completely changed my career. That was my first world champion title. And everything that happened that year, the way it changed my mindset was like a founding block for all other 5 other world championship titles.
What an amazing story. I'd like to ask each of you, I know you're ready here, Alejandro, so go ahead. Your setback.
I fully agree that there is, your sport is one person sport, but in the business world, there's not a lot of things that generate so much energy that a team that believes that they are doing is important in the country where they operate, and it's important in their local surroundings, their family, their friends, and all this energy is able to go over any mistake that you can generate. I mean, it's not the magic. It's the part of the game. The most important part of the game is how much energy can you generate, not only by your own, also with your team, and that is I think the medicine the recipe to give to any new entrepreneur. I mean, of course you can do it alone, but if you go with more team, you have more energy to solve the problems that for sure you will have. Yeah, for sure.
Now, that's amazing advice. Would either of you like to share a setback story?
At the beginning of the company, the first 2 years, we ran out of the cash. We're about to shut down the company, and that's because we were depending on raising funds. So we decided not to go for like very low valuations and so on, and we had to take money from take loans from the banks, like personal loans, and stop our salaries for a year. So, and this was a turning point for the company, that it's very important to focus on being cash flow positive, run a profitable business. And since then, we never needed to raise funds. And it helped a lot to grow with your own money, without raising funds. So this was a big failure, but we learned a lot from it.
Paweł?
On my end, from my perspective, right, like the number of failure and setbacks you get on a daily basis and weekly basis is just enormous. And I like how some people compare it to boxing, right? In boxing, the way you get better is just you're taking more and more punches to the face, and that's how you get better. And that's really how I see, scaling fast, building a company. It's all about getting the punches, standing up, and continuing, and just learning from those mistakes and trying to, look into the future, right? Like not mulling over too many, mistakes from the past, your failures, just focusing on, I know what happened, I know how to improve, right? Like Marwan said, right? I know I need to get to cash flow positive, so I don't need to face this situation in the future, right? Like we know what we need to do in the future, but I think what differentiates entrepreneurs is we do focus okay, what's next? How do we improve, right? Like how do we get better? So failures are always there, and they'll be there. But I do think we kind of stop noticing at a certain point. But because there are way too many.
I've always believed that it doesn't matter what your title is, how much you make, what your name is, how big your company is, but how big of an impact you make in business and society and on individuals, as we see here. I want to ask each of you, do you think entrepreneurs, well-known athletes have a responsibility to help out and give back? And how do each of you do that? Jump in.
Actually, that's very important to have impact on your business. So I won't talk about the business. So of course, we have impact on our customers. We have like big clients like multinationals and so on. But the real impact that I've learned comes from Endeavor. So I want to take this opportunity to thank Endeavor for this. We joined Endeavor 5 years ago, and it has a great impact on the business. So I learned from the mentors, the board members, everyone in Endeavor, on how to leave the right impact on the company. They helped us a lot in expanding into new countries, getting the right advice when we launch new products like data analytics, gamification, and so on. Business development, opening doors. So what I'm trying to do is to give back to Endeavor and Endeavor's people, and definitely to our team. But a great model for impact is what Endeavor is doing.
Marcin?
As an athlete, especially when you are successful, you become a role model for younger generations. So the most important thing you have to do is to lead by example. Especially in sports, it is a fair play. There is, a lot of possibilities to bend the rules, and you as a top athlete cannot do it at no circumstances. You have to lead by example.
Alejandro?
Well, impact, I mean, for me, impact means that what you are doing matters to your clients, matters to your stakeholders, to your employees. I mean, these three levels, you need to be really take care of them and see what is happening in all these. Clients means revenue, stakeholders mean value, and employees mean talent. That is the three elements that give you impact in the business that you're running.
Paweł, I'll give you the last word.
Yeah, I mean, to your question about giving back, right? Like, I think the way we should think about it is think of, in your early career, how often you got help from someone, right? Like, you're kind of like building out your debt, and it's really time for you to in certain way repay it and help other people, right? So that's like, on that note, I would love to, end this.
Thank you, gentlemen. You're all doing incredible things. Keep it up.